So there's this viral video making a pretty wild claim that Hollywood isn't just in a slump, it's actually tearing itself down on purpose. Today, we are going to dig right into that argument.
All right, here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to start with the celebrity interview that kind of kicked this whole thing off. Then we'll get into this bigger industry trend the source video calls the pioneer pattern. From there, we'll look at how all of this shows up at the Oscars, of all places, and we'll wrap up with some pretty bold predictions the video makes about where Hollywood is headed.
Okay, so the whole argument in this video that we're looking at, it all starts with one single moment. It's this recent interview with actress Rachel Zegler that, really got people talking online. So what did she say? Well, Zegler's talking about growing up and her experience with beauty standards, right? And she basically suggests that she just didn't see a lot of major stars or, beauty icons in the media who were Latina and actually looked like her. And the reaction from the video's creators was, well, immediate. They basically just flat out challenged this idea, saying that for her to really believe that, she must have grown up in what they call an alternate reality. And to back that up, the critique just starts rattling off this whole list of, huge, prominent, super successful Latina actresses. We're talking people from across different decades. And their point is, hey, look, here's the proof. This kind of representation isn't new. It's been around for a long, long time. But here's where the critique really starts to dig in. The source argues that Rachel Zegler's comments, they're not just some one-off mistake. Nope, they're actually a symptom of something much, much bigger, a whole phenomenon that they call the pioneer pattern. So what is the pioneer pattern? Well, the video's hosts describe it as this kind of narcissistic trend in the culture where people feel this intense need to frame themselves as the first person to ever do something. And to do that, they often have to just ignore or even erase all the people who actually came before them. And they give a pretty big example. Lucasfilm. The source claims that you have executives like Kathleen Kennedy positioning themselves as these female trailblazers in the Star Wars universe, while totally overlooking the absolutely crucial Oscar-winning work of Marcia Lucas, who edited the original films. Her contribution was foundational. So you see where this is going, right? The point the video is making is that this isn't just about a few individual egos. They're saying it's a systemic problem, a total disconnect from reality across the industry. And to prove just how widespread this issue is, they take us to Hollywood's biggest night. Yeah, the Oscars. The source uses the recent awards show as like the ultimate proof. They say it shows an industry that knows it's sinking, but instead of trying to fix things, it's, well, in their words, flipping you off on the way to the bottom. Their analysis really hones in on two specific moments from the show. First up, there's Sean Penn winning an award for a role in a movie the source basically calls a political fantasy. And the second thing they point to is this pretty controversial joke from the host, Conan O'Brien, right in his opening monologue. Now, the hosts of the video, they hold these moments up as Exhibit A for what they see as just profound hypocrisy. Their whole point is, how can an industry that created the whole Me Too movement turn around and make jokes about such incredibly sensitive topics? To them, it's a huge sign that Hollywood just doesn't care what the public thinks anymore. And all of this, it all builds up to the source's final and honestly most fascinating debate. They ask, is all this behavior a sign that Hollywood is deliberately blowing itself up? Or is the industry just so trapped in its own bubble that it's completely blind to what's really going on? So they really debate these two competing theories. Theory A is what they call conscious implosion. The idea here is that the insiders know the end is coming, probably in 5 to 7 years because of AI, so they're just burning it all down on their way out. Then you've got Theory B, the insulated bubble. This one says they're just so protected by their fame and money that they literally have no idea the party's about to be over. And that timeline, 5 to 7 years, that's a number the critique brings up again and again. It's their prediction for how much time the Hollywood we know has left before AI comes in and just completely changes the game for everyone. Which brings us to the final, really provocative question the video leaves us with. For this whole generation of stars who've only ever known this system, what happens to them? And what happens to our culture when the party is well and truly over?